Oh, that's why you should practice this room. Greetings YouTubers, LogicPQ here, and today we're going to get the Chapter 2 B-side Golden Strawberry. In this room you learn how to jump out of dream blocks. If I jump when I exit these dream blocks, I get a momentum boost. Just like that. Now if I didn't jump, this is what happens. You just fall. For those of you that have not used this technique in a while, it is very important for getting through this B-side. Just like all levels in Celeste, after they teach you a new technique, they give you a tutorial type section for that technique. This is that room. You just simply use that technique to get through the room. So, if you are not very good at that technique, this is a great room to practice it because that's exactly what this room is made to do. Alright, so once you get to this section, the level starts to heat up a little bit. You start having the battle line chase you. So this room, you gotta be very careful with your movement. I'll show you the way I like to do it. First I jump up here, I wait here for a second, that way the battle line stays there, because the battle line copies your movements exactly. I'll wait here for a second for it to pass, then I go over this way, boost up to here, climb up that, do not jump up it, because then the battle line does not hit you when it climbs up. When you use words like here and there, and the things that you were referring to are behind your head, you kind of look dumb. So just as a recap for this room, the best way to deal with the battle line is to jump up here and then wait for about 2 seconds until the battle line's about to get you. Then you jump up here. That way when the battle line does get here, you don't have to worry about hitting it when you fall down. So after that you just go over here, then you go straight up. Diagonal here pretty quickly. You want to sit here for a little bit until the battle line goes up. Then you go through. And then after that you go over here. If you hold forward you will hit the spike, so be careful of that. Jump up here, wall grab. Jump up here, and then behind my face you're going to want to just climb up this part. If you jump here, it makes it really hard to get past the battle line. So you want to climb up here, and then quickly jump to this ledge right here. And then once the battle line climbs up and goes over here, you fall back down, and you just boost through to the end. There's really no good place to put myself in this, is there? That's too bad. But you also don't want to fall alongside the wall that I'm currently on, because battle line follows your moves exactly. So when you want to make sure that you fall a little bit away from it, so that way you have room to crawl up and battle line will fall past you. This is actually a good room to learn a technique that you will need to know later, and I think it's very helpful. When you boost through a dream block horizontally, you can hold the opposite direction that you're dashing and the climb button to cling onto the opposite side of the dream block when you go through. This stops all your momentum, so you can immediately stop. Of course, you can't do this if there's spikes here, so don't try to do that. This is a great room to practice this, and it will prepare you for later sections when you need to do it. Alright, so normally when you spawn into this room, 3 battle lines will start chasing you, so there's no time to wait. You can pause the game to give you some time to breathe and remember what to do, which is always very helpful, especially when you're getting a golden strawberry. But I'm going to show you a good route to unlock this part. You have to hit all the blue switches as you see. You want to go straight up, go over here, move down a little bit, go over here. Go over here before they come, go back up, go back down, go back up, wait right here, go back down, don't let the battle lines catch you, and you're good. So this room you just have one battle line chasing you, so it's a lot easier. You want to make sure you don't jump into those spikes like I just did. You want to jump through that switch, then go all the way down here and boost over to that wall. Try not to go through that dream block because you don't want to. Then go over here. Boost through that dream block. You can jump through this part, but I like to hold on just to be safe. And then when you get that switch, make sure you dash to this wall. It's the most important thing on this entire part, because if you don't, you can't do it. And my favorite thing is that you get to see the battle line move like we did on the block, even though there's no block there to move. It's actually pretty funny how they do that. And then you want to get as close to this wall right here without hitting it when you dash through it. So you'll see what I mean. So that way you can cling to it. You're going to jump off. I like to dash straight up there. It makes it a lot easier to hit that spring, and you don't want to be going straight up on that spring because of these spikes. Pretty easy mistake to make, but you don't want to make it. I definitely recommend boosting up there so that way it's easier to tap the spring and jump to the right. If you boost sideways, your momentum's kind of hard to control and you might accidentally hit the spikes anyways. So boosting straight up gives you a lot more control over Madeline and makes this section a lot easier. This is kind of a tricky dash here. You're going to dash through that dream block, and if you don't do anything, you're going to crash into the spikes on the right wall. Like this. You cannot control that momentum. It is not possible to move backwards by just holding left. If you hold left and climb, you'll hit those spikes on the dream block when you go through, so you can't do that either. The only way to survive this part is to dash through that block and then to dash straight down. Just like that. Now you want to avoid the spikes that are right here, so when you dash straight down, be careful. You want to make sure you're moving to the left when you do it, so that way you can grab the wall that I'm currently on right here. And then what you want to do is you want to diagonally dash down and then hold back on the wall and grab it. Just like that. And then you're going to want to jump over to this wall. Be careful, I almost died right there. You saw I bonked my head. You want to make sure you're about this high up, about halfway up the dream block, so that way when you jump over to the other wall, you don't bonk your head. You can bonk your head and hit the spikes. Alright, so for this room, there's just a couple things that you should remember. When you go through here, you want to grab this wall, jump over, avoid those spikes, and grab this wall. We're going to jump over and dash through that dream block to make it a lot simpler. Dash diagonally up through that way, then kind of curve back here, and diagonally dash through that. You can cling to this wall. I do recommend it actually because it makes this next part more consistent. You're going to want to dash straight up, and then what you want to do is you want to dash through this dream block about as high as possible on it, and then use the jump tech to jump high. The reason why you want to be as high as possible is because the next part, well, I just dashed, so I will not be able to complete this part, but the next part, you want to be as high as possible here, so that way when you come in, you're going to be able to control your momentum up here and not down here, because you're going to probably hit these spikes if you're trying to control it around here. If you're up here, you control your momentum and then fall through this cavern of spikes. So you'll see that I cannot complete this even if I get through this cavern of spikes, because you need to have your dash to get through that final dream block. But there's two ways to kind of get this dream block. There's one way that's a bit harder, which is what I just did, clinging to the dream block. But you don't have to do that. All you really have to do is just dash through it. So while you're falling, you just got to time the dash through the dream block. And I think that's a lot easier than trying to cling onto this wall. So go for that. So this room, we're starting to finally heat up a bit. Those other rooms really are not that bad with just a little bit of practice. Honestly, all you really got to do to get through those first runs is just remember a couple things that I said and really just run through it all one time without the golden strawberry. That way you kind of remember the order of the rooms. This part though, I do recommend practicing and understanding. I'll tell you what to do though. So you want to dash diagonally up and use the jump tech to get over to that first switch on the left. Like so. Then you're going to want to dash diagonally up this way, just like I did. Crawl up to here. And now you want to diagonally dash up into the left and then use the jump tech again. Make sure you're holding B so you get the full jump here. And you do not want to hit your head up here when you're dashing, so make sure you're low enough and you line up your diagonal correctly. This is part of what practice will help. It'll help you make sure you're lining up these diagonals well. You want to make sure you're aiming for right about here, the higher part instead of the lower part, because you're going to be jumping out and you're going to be aiming for this block right here. So you're going to aim for the top part when you dash diagonally up into the left, otherwise you'll miss. So practice this part to make sure you're getting out right, and then you jump up here and you'll grab that. So you're holding grab, you hold B when you get through because you want to get a full jump there. You jump over, get it, jump back. Be careful with your stamina, you don't want to cling on to this too long. As you see, I already just ran out. It's mostly because I'm talking to you guys, but be careful. Jump down, dash through, and then when you dash through this, make sure you're holding back and cling, so that way you can cling to this wall. You don't have to do that, but it does make this part a little bit easier because all you have to do from here is dash up into the left, to get that, then jump back over. Use the tech here to grab the wall, jump over. You cannot dash from this wall through the dream block. I tried, this is what happens. You don't make it into the dream block. It's really sad, so don't do that. Alright, so when you do get here, you want to make sure you jump to the right and then dash through the block. I recommend using the tech once again to grab the other side of the block once you go through it. You can jump down to here, boost up to here, and now you just got to avoid those spikes on the right side, and you're good. That's the end of that room. It's always a good idea to practice the final rooms of a golden strawberry, so that way when you get here, you're confident and the nerves won't get to you as much. So for the first several boosts through this dream block, there's no switches to get. You just want to be using the tech where you hold the opposite direction that you're going through the dream block, and then you grab. So that way you grab the opposite side of these walls just like this. Alright, no problem, right? Now you see the first switch behind my face, because obviously you can see that. So now that I've moved myself, you dash through this and you use the jump tech to get to here. You dash up, get that refresh, then you jump over here and you use the tech to grab the opposite side of this wall. You want to move down just a little bit here so that way you can position yourself for an up left diagonal boost. I recommend boosting through and holding left, but don't try to grab the wall on the opposite side. Instead, what you should do is let yourself fall and line yourself up for this boost. So then you grab the opposite side of this wall instead. As long as you're holding left when you go through diagonally, you won't hit the spikes on the left wall. Alright, so once you get here, you just jump down, boost over to this wall, then start using wall jumps. Make sure you line up so you don't hit those spikes. And you get this green crystal. You want to make sure you jump a little bit high here, so that way you either grab this wall and you can just fall down, or you at least get to this dream block. It's really easy to jump a little too short and hit the spikes right below me. So make sure you're jumping higher, but not too high, because once again you'll bonk your head against the ceiling and then you'll hit the spikes anyways. Practice makes perfect. Make sure you're jumping in the right spot. Then you want to dash up and to the left again, and then dash directly over here to this. Don't dash right away because you'll hit the wall right above me and you'll die. Make sure you fall just a little bit and then dash through. It's really easy to time it. And then you're here, use the tech again to grab, and then you just boost over and you're good. Alright, so this is the last room. This room's pretty easy, and honestly, I don't think you can even die here. So you're home free once you get here. And that's it. This B-side is probably easier than the Chapter 1 B-side. As long as you know what you're doing, the tech is not hard at all, and I think this should be a freebie. Anyways, good luck out there, and I'll see you when I'm done. You heard it here first, folks. I'm gonna beat this on my first try. We did it, boys. This is it. I mean, we can't die now, so we pretty much got it. Oh yeah, chat. That's it. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it if you subscribe, like the video. In the comments, I would like to hear how you guys have been doing with the golden strawberries. Maybe suggest which one I do next, because at this point I can kind of pivot wherever you guys want to. Of course, I already told you guys in the earlier videos that I would not be doing chapter 6 through 8 of the B-side yet, and I will not be doing the Wings golden strawberry. Those will be the final golden strawberries that I go for. If you guys have a particular golden strawberry that you would like for me to get, leave that in the comments and that's the one I'll do next. And once again, thanks for watching. So one thing I haven't talked about with you guys is, if you haven't noticed, I have a large amount of salt in my veins, and let me tell you, it's pretty bad. I'm like the biggest salt mine that you've ever seen. Oh jeez. If I make a mistake, I get so freaking salty about it. Like, if you see my faces, like, that's legitimate, man. I've always been like that. My friends have always called me like the saltiest person they've ever known, because I just get salty about everything, just about, as long as it's me making the mistake. If I'm the one doing it, I feel like I really just messed up, and oh, I just can't get over it. So y'all can make fun of me for my salt, you know, that's fine. If you see me getting extra salty, that's just who I am, man. I'm gonna be salty my whole life.